Hello, my lovies. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning? I pray everybody had a good night's sleep. I got a man on my mind this morning, and his name is Neville Goddard. I want to tell y'all how I met Neville Goddard. When you take off your skin, because on my channel, we take our skin off and we live in the spirit realm. You run into the greats, you run into the great minds, but you run into them through dreaming, you run into them through visions, right? But it's a field, it's all called, I would say, the field of possibilities, right? You meet people that have passed on. You go where your vibration is. Whatever vibration you vibrating on in the spirit realm, I think that's the level you get to hang at. Those are the type of people you get to meet. I think everybody ain't in the same place the way I'm looking at it, the way I'm getting it. But I don't study anything unless it comes to me. So everything I talk about, I want y'all to know I didn't just get it by walking by something. I'm not doing it because somebody told me to. I'm doing it because I went to sleep, minding my own goddamn business, and Mr. Dream decided to pay me a visit and show me some stuff and tell me some stuff. I go to my friend Miss Google, and then Google confirmed that Mr. Dream knew what he was talking about. And then I stay on Miss Google. And then I go to my YouTube university, because that's the university I go to. And next thing you know, I'm down the freaking rabbit hole. So this is how I get my information. I read and I study. I seek. I knock. I ask. I'm tearing the door down. So Neville Goddard, if y'all ain't never heard of Neville Goddard, you need to listen to Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard is favored by God because I ran into Neville Goddard. Anybody I tell you about, they gotta be up there. They up there, up there. I ran into Melchizedek. I've even ran into Abraham. But it's all in dream wise, and then it comes in like a story within the dream. But with Neville Goddard, I had my own personal dream that a hand came out of nowhere with a ticket in it. This hand was very adamant about giving me a ticket. This ticket was real shiny. It had reflective colors on it. A lot of oranges and golds and yellows. I could barely look at the ticket because the reflection of the ticket was hurting my eyesight. But the hand just kept trying to give me the ticket. I remember receiving that ticket in my left hand. I clenched that ticket. I got so excited about the ticket, I tried to look down at the ticket, but then I wanted to keep my eye on the hand because the hand didn't have an arm attached to it. You don't see stuff like that every day. You don't go to sleep and have a dream like that. I wish I wouldn't have looked at the ticket. I could have kept my eye on the freaking hand, right? So I had the ticket in my left hand. I was so excited, y'all, to receive a hand like that straight from heaven. That had to be the ticket of a lifetime. In my mind, I thought lotto ticket, but it could be a ticket to the spirit realm. It could be a ticket anywhere to a dimension, anywhere. But in my mind, I don't know, because I want some money real bad. I thought lotto ticket. Like, it felt like lottery ticket. Plus some of the dreams, the other dreams I had made me feel like that ticket was a lottery ticket. But it's a ticket from heaven. Just know that it was given to me by the hand of God. That's the way I'm gonna look at it, okay? So I received a ticket. When I woke up, it was no ticket. I was distressed, y'all. I was distraught. I was in a frantic, raging, lunatic mind. Where my ticket? God gave me a ticket. My husband like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh my God, I lost my ticket. How could I lose that ticket? Like I had to wake up. Like he had to shake me and wake me up, y'all, cause I was gone. My life would change. I done been to the lotto. I done bought my house. I done lived my life already just that fast, right? So I was depressed about that ticket. That ticket stayed on my mind. So I said, I remember saying, God, is there anybody else done had these experiences? Because it be some weird, crazy stuff happening to me, y'all. And I don't have nobody to talk to about this stuff. It just happens to me and I deal with it. Because the people I used to talk to about it, they dead and gone now. So I'm like all alone. And then it seems like I just hang out with the dead people for real. And I ain't lying, y'all. It's like I hang out with the dead people. Because I imagine myself outside my body. I imagine myself not in this skin. And when I do that, I run into people. I'm going to tell you how I ran into Neville Goddard. So I had this dream. And when I asked that question, I said, anybody else done had this experience before? It gotta be somebody else that do this stuff. I can't be the only human on this earth having all these mystical, supernatural experiences. And all of a sudden, an audible voice came in my mind and said, Goddard knew. I was like, what? It said, Goddard knew. I'm like, Goddard knew? What's a Goddard knew? I was putting the whole word together, Goddard knew. Then the voice slowed down and said, Goddard knew. And I was like, Goddard knew. So I went, grabbed the phone, went to my friend Miss Google. I said, Miss Google, what is a Goddard knew? A Goddard know. I was saying it all type of ways. And next thing you know, Neville Goddard popped up. I said, oh, this is a person. Y'all, when God give you a name, you best go follow it. If it's a person of high conscience and that name come to you in your sleep, you best go see what they talking about. There was a person that God favored, God really, really talked to, and the stuff they were talking about was on point, right? So the very first excerpt I went to was on YouTube. It was about Neville Goddard, and he was in the service. And tell me why he was talking about he tried to get out of the service and they wouldn't approve his discharge papers, right? And it was some man named Abdullah that be teaching him how to go within, was telling him that his imagination is God and everything. So I was going along with what how I kind of got what Abdullah was saying with all the stuff that happened to me. It seemed like I knew Abdullah too. I got what Abdullah was talking about. Like I knew Abdullah knew his stuff, right? So Neville said he went to sleep after he, imagined himself at home, not being discharged, but at home, and all of a sudden he had a dream of a hand came to him. It didn't have nobody attached to it. And it gave him a paper with a pen and told him to sign it. And he signed the paper. And I think he said he remembered receiving it in his left hand. Now, for some reason, that left hand thing stood out to me because, y'all, if I close my left hand, if I clench it, it feel like that ticket still in my hand. I could still feel the texture of my ticket. And he said that when God gives you something, you receive it in your left hand. And when you give something, you give it out in your right hand. See, I did not know that. So y'all, I've dug into Neville Goddard stuff. And it came to pass inside of me. I got so much confirmation that I'm on the inside of God speaking out. That's why the words talk to me. And I understood why he said that the imagination is God, right? Because remember, I told you words, I tell you guys that words talk to me. They talk to me like people. They have character traits and personality. And I learned from the words that they are what put the world together. So when I went into the books that they told me to, which I went to sleep, waking up saying Kabbalah, Kabbalah, Kabbalah. I couldn't get my mouth together, but when I went to Miss Google, it was Kabbalah. I went into the Kabbalah and then I went back into John. I read John, y'all. Come to find out, a mind was created for Jesus to play with, which Jesus is God's reflection. God's reflection came from him looking into water substance. So you could say water and God was Jesus' mama and daddy. Like this stuff was real. And this stuff is coming to me from the inside. So they let me know why. It kind of explained the crucifixion. I felt like Jesus knew the mind was in trouble because the mind was putting us, and it's all about being one mind, right? And to me, that was the way God put himself into the mind to interact with his own reflection, his own child. Like, go with me, y'all. In the spirit realm, you got to take your skin off to get this stuff. You can't have skin on to get what I'm going to say. The skin going to reject what I'm saying. But if you go in the spirit realm and grab a hold of spiritual substance, spiritual things, then you can get what I'm saying. Could you imagine God hiding himself into the mind? Because the mind was supposed to teach Jesus everything. The mind knew the beginning of time. The mind knew everything God knew is God's thinking, right? So that was a way for God to play with the mind. They had to be so close. Man, they had to love each other so much. The mind had to grow up with Jesus. This was a connection out of this world. And by Jesus loving on this mind, it gave this mind an individuality. Like it gave it individuality, yeah. So when the words created us, they put this mind in us. Jesus came back to say his mind. The mind was in trouble. It's like God was in trouble. His son came to save him. But God don't go nowhere. Everything about him just breaks up. All his attributes just breaks up. His words, his syllables, his action, his sneeze, his cough, his thought, everything, his movement, everything got life in it and everything breaks up. So I get why the mind is so important, y'all. But I met Neville Goddard through dreaming, through the mind. And like Neville Goddard said, the mind, the imagination is God. It has to be God. It has to be God. It played with Jesus. It raised Jesus. It taught Jesus everything. And then it was in trouble and Jesus came to save the mind. And could you imagine that union when the mind wakes up and realizes Jesus' face, which is God's reflection, when God realizes his own face? Go with me in the spirit realm, y'all. This stuff is deep. You got to break your mind up. In his house is many mansions, meaning you go into consciousness to get this stuff. You can go in whatever door you want to go in. Go in this one. This is a good door. But when the mind wake up and see Jesus, it's like, oh. And then when Jesus recognized the mind, that union, it's like they together again, they one again, they whole again. All creation is happy again. All is well in your life. All works smooth. You getting all your downloads, all your messages, all your blessings coming through because the mind has connected back with the source. This stuff is so cool. I woke up on the good foot this morning, y'all. I woke up with my mind in Christ. See, I'm coming to y'all from the inside. I'm giving y'all the inside source. So, Neville Goddard, if y'all ain't never been into Neville Goddard stuff, you never heard of Neville Goddard. God gave Neville Goddard the okay. His teachings are still going on. And I ran into him in the spirit realm by synchronicity. You could say I met him through synchronicity. And he's real. Like this man is real. And what he talks about is what I talk about. But it's amped up the way I'm coming from it. is another way, but it all leads back to the same source. It's y'all, it's so many ways to get to the source. We all trying to get to the source. All of us got our own flavor, our own way. But I thank Abdullah for teaching Neville and Neville teaching us, and God leading me to Neville and Neville teaching me. And I'm teaching y'all because the imagination is God. Why not? It doesn't make sense if the imagination was not God. God had to put himself in that mind to play with Jesus, to teach Jesus, in order to interact with Jesus. This is cool. I get it. I get it. I get it. I hope y'all got it. This was on my mind early this morning, y'all. But take them nuggets with y'all throughout the day and see what happened. I just gave y'all some nuggets, man, some treasures to take a lifetime. You've been spending your lifetime reading your word and you ain't getting the word. Well, I'm giving you the word. The word, the real word. The real word. I'm explaining thought. I'm explaining word. I'm explaining word in action. We are thought. We are word in action. Thoughts got legs. And I'm walking into y'all heart right now. And I pray in the name of Jesus, these words come in and confound the wise. Because this seems foolish, don't it? But it's not. It's really not. Y'all have a good day. I love you guys. Oh, and don't forget to hit the like button, and subscribe to my goddamn channel. Help my numbers go up, y'all. Show me that the word is walking. That thought got legs. Prove to me that the word walks. That thoughts have legs. Y'all help me spread this word around. Help me spread these thoughts. Share my videos. I love you. Because you ain't going to never hear the word preached like this.